Speaker, Mr. Chris Stewart. He was the youngest African American partner at Morgan & Morgan. He became partner in just 4 years at the age of 29 and has represented over 2,500 clients. He is currently opening up his new firm, which is called Stewart, Say & Felton, which will be a catastrophic injury litigation law firm. He earned his undergraduate degree in psychology from Xavier University and his master's of Science in Public Health from Tulane University School of Public Health and Tropical Medicine. We're going to make this very quick so that he can have his time to speak to you guys. And now I'll introduce Mr. Chris Stewart.
Good evening, everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
I was asked to talk for about 30 minutes. That's not going to happen. So really just go through some of the bullet points that were emailed to me. And, really just talk to y'all about my experience, kind of where I came from and how I ended up where I am, because it is a very interesting story. From Atlanta, from Southwest Atlanta. No lawyers in my family, no doctors, nothing like that. Dad drove a tug at Delta, you know, basic upbringing in Southwest Atlanta. No hopes of being a lawyer, no even thoughts of being a lawyer. I actually couldn't even read till like the 4th grade. And that, I think, began to instill the determination that all of you will have to get where you're going. Because when you have struggles reading when you're younger, you fight a lot. And you get teased a lot, and it's just issues, and you struggle with that. And what I would start doing is coming home and reading in the bathroom with the door shut, reading out loud. I never wanted to talk in public. I hated being called on. I hated talking in public. But after practicing, after my parents decided to go and buy me some Jordans, putting me in a special reading class, I started realizing that I actually like to read, and I actually read extremely fast. And then I got good, and then what started carrying me is my grades in reading and English and all of that stuff. Math, I still suck, but that started carrying me. Ended up going to a pretty good high school down here. Went to college, went to HBCU, went to Xavier. And while I was there, I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be pre-med until I took organic. And then I was like, not being pre-med. I was like, what's easier? Psychology. So went the psychology route, and I really liked it. I love trying to understand people and figure things out. And I was doing that. Went to grad school for it. And I got an internship with the EPA, and we were part of. Y'all probably too young for Outbreak. Y'all remember that movie?
Yes.
Some of y'all like it. Basically we went out to a disaster area, and I work for the EPA, and there's a lot of different areas in the country that are majorly polluted, and you just don't even know it. You probably drive through it, man, your skin will burn out if you stay there too long. And we would go out when there's an outbreak, when there was something called a cancer cluster, and we had a major cancer cluster in Florida. So we flew out, we go to this small town, and everybody has cancer. Everybody's got eyeball cancer, throat cancer, knee, you name it, which is very, the EPA monitors for that kind of stuff. And we're meeting with the citizens, and they're just going through it. People are dying at an age that you shouldn't die. You shouldn't have cancer at that age. And we were the in-between people. There was a major lawsuit going on. Big company was being sued by the people in the town, and my job was to meet with both sides. And I would go to a meeting with the lawyer that represented the town, almost like that Aaron Brockovich movie. And it's a young dude, young white dude, cool as hell. It's like, oh. I love that guy, man. And he really actually cared about it. Then I would go to the meeting with the big company, and the lawyers in there were talking about golf. They were talking about how quick they want to get back to New York. They were laughing about other stuff, and we literally just talked about, a dead teenager who had cancer. And for some reason, I was like, okay, I'm going to end up being the person that writes the laws, or the person that can file a lawsuit and try and change the laws and change what these companies are doing. So then that pushed me to the edge, like, all right, well, I'll just apply, see if I get in. And I applied and didn't get in to a lot of places, and I got into Howard, and I got into UGA, and then I was battling between what should I do? You know, what experience do I want? Because I went to a HBC for undergrad. I went to Tulane for grad school, which I was the only African American in my whole program. And what experience did I want? And I went to visit Howard, and the atmosphere there got me, because it was a very unified atmosphere of young professional African Americans that I had never really seen before. And that pulled me in it, and you know, I started the law school journey. As you all probably have struggled also, first year destroyed me, because I did not know how to write. You know, I knew how to, I mean, I had a master's degree. I knew how to, you know, I thought I was smart. I had a fancy degree already, and, you know, first year it tore me up and down because I did not know how to process the information. I did not know how to organize my schedule properly. I thought I could wait. You know, I'm a clutch learner. I wait till finals are 2 weeks away, and then I'm like, I got it. Yeah, that didn't work. So, yeah, got through first semester struggling. In second semester, I started learning law school is all about managing time. It's not hard. It's not a lot of stuff. It's just managing your time. Because what you're not realizing is it's a ton of information to process. So it's just managing your time, learning bit by bit by bit by bit. And then, of course, cramming and finding the best outline from the person that's not hiding it from you. And then, you know, going down that road. And I discovered while I was there, Charlotte, which, you know, a lot of people want to be on journal, a lot of people will find their interest. Mine was trial team. You know, I made it on trial team because, as you can see, I can talk smack very well because I have 3 older sisters, and to survive in that house, you had to. And I got trial team, and I fell in love with it. And that was what I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to be in a courtroom. I wanted to argue. I wanted to be like the guys I saw on TV, because once again, I didn't know any black lawyers. I'm from Southwest Atlanta. You don't really see too many like that. Yeah, I didn't know it. So, you know, I didn't have a blueprint. And then I heard about this guy named Willie Gary down in Florida. And everybody in law school used to talk about Willie Gary. And, you know, the black lawyer with the jets and planes, and, you know, he's a billionaire and all this stuff. And, of course, that caught my attention. So I'm like, huh. You know, look him up online, Google him. Started researching him. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a job with that dude, even though I got a 2.1. Yeah, I'm gonna get a job with it. And so I made a packet. You know, some people send a resume. I made a packet, and some of y'all heard the story and some of the other things, but I made a packet. I went and got some laminated pictures of myself. I got a bio. I went and got 3 letters of recommendation from, you know, person at church, you know, another person, and I sent this dude a packet. And I ended up getting an internship, and half of this, it was just because that was so hilarious that a law school literally a why I should intern at your firm packet. You know, I took one picture, kind of posed like him. It was so over the top. Don't do that. Don't do that. It was over the top, and it worked. And that right there, I knew I wanted to litigate, but I didn't really know what kind of lawyer I wanted to be. And seeing the success of somebody who's still cool, you know, not arrogant, not, you know, feeling themselves, which is the biggest hindrance that all of you guys are probably feeling yourself already. I mean, everybody's sitting back like, oh, okay. You know, but he's not like that. Dude could buy all of us, but he was just cool, you know. He had everything that everybody would read about, but he was normal. And that's where I discovered that's how he wins so many major trials. Is he gets in front of a jury and he talks normal. Now he preaches, he's a preacher. He's one of those, you know, you gotta do the right thing, jury. You know, he does that, but he's normal. And that started teaching me, okay, well, you know, I accomplished this. We won this tournament. You know, we beat Harvard in this national tournament, and maybe I'm important now. And it's like, nah, you know, other than my sisters constantly reminding me that I'm nothing. You know, he also reminded me to stay humble. You know, and that's the thing, you know, I have a very supportive family who back me on anything, but they keep you humble. You know, no matter how many trials you win, no matter what you do, you have to stay humble. And no matter what y'all are accomplishing right now, I don't care what A's you get in what class, what tournament you win, you gotta stay humble. Because being African American lawyers, once you get out there, arrogance doesn't help. You know, it's what you produce that helps. And one of the bullet points was, how did this prepare me for my career? How did law school? Is learning humility early. Early, because you're going to learn it hard once you start practicing. Because the person that runs everything is the judge. And no matter what you do, personal injury, criminal, whatever it is, that judge is the almighty. And you can walk in there, I've seen some young lawyers walk in court, and they're full of themselves, and they're talking, the judge is like, sit down. And they keep standing, and they're like, okay, you know, I'm a lawyer, I got my break. They're like, counsel, I said sit down. And then they sit down all slow, and it's just all over from there. Now their confidence is shook, they've never really been, you know, in that situation. But it's humility. And humility starts with how y'all interact with each other. Humility acts with, you know, whatever title you may have now, you know, whatever title you may get at a law firm. You know, I knew people that, you know, they were top of the class and got the big job at the big firm, and they're lording it over everybody, you know, already. And now they have left that job, still trying to find one, and I've been through 2, 3, you know, other great situations, and people that they used to laugh at are now, you know, thinking about hiring them. So it comes back around. And it's all about learning to be grounded right now. One of the biggest things everybody always is wondering what they want to do, you know, what area do I want to go into? You won't really know. You know, you may start finding your way. Do you want to litigate? You know, do you want to work more with companies? Do you want to work with the people? The biggest thing I could suggest is find the general area that you want to do. You know